Looks like a cattle trail here. Crosses the road. I can kind of see where you might want to go here. See a lot of these tanks out here. They're frozen over. Yeah, looks like rabbits too. Somebody left me a present right here in the middle of the road. This is the Swazey family cabin, built by Joseph Swazey back in 1920, and he knew how to pick a spot. They used this in cattle roundup days. It's not really a residence per se. Cozy. We're still there. Looks like there's been a fire inside here. Probably over there most of the time. Pretty decent shape. Homemade door. Pretty nice. And a view. Imagine you were here 7,000 years ago. You have a camp up here, watching for game down in the valley there. And there's this great huge cliff, sort of custom made for pictographs. That guy is called Lone Warrior. Kind of looks like he's got a round shield in front of him. And ears like Batman. Kind of spooky. I guess we don't know it was 7,000 years ago, but that's from the Barrier Canyon style of pictographs in the area of San Raphael Swell. We're gonna have some roast chicken tonight. Along with the roast chicken, we're gonna have a baked potato. The way my dad used to do this is just wrap it in 2 layers of foil, one to keep the inside clean-ish, and the second to remove so you don't have to clean anything. I got camp mostly set up. Gonna have a Dutch oven chicken and veggies and a baked potato. Where's the baked potato? There it is. Just throw that in the oven or the fire. The Dutch oven is going to go on some charcoals, which I'm starting right there. Charcoals burn a lot more even. I can always use coals from here if it's not enough. And the last people here left me a whole pile of firewood. I might just stay here a couple days, see if I can burn it up. Yeah, what a gorgeous spot underneath these cliffs among junipers and piñons. Not sure you can see it, but the moon, there it is. Crescent moon. Ah, nice. Ooh, done. Still sizzling. I think that will do. And I'll see you tomorrow morning. I think the cliff sees it before I do. Cold. Time to get some coffee. That was camp last night. I forgot what the name of this plant is. The leaves kind of are pointy like a holly almost. Yeah, I'll look it up. Put a caption. These are pinyon pine cones. They open up like that in the fall and have nuts inside, but I think the squirrels have most of these. They're a really pretty tree. And that's a juniper. So they seem to be kind of friendly. There's an example of one that's already opened up and shed all its nuts. And they're delicious pine nuts. Sitting at the campfire, really all through the night, kept thinking about the people that painted the Lone Warrior pictograph. The history and prehistory of Utah begins back with the megafauna hunters who had Clovis points as stone weapons. Then came the archaic people, and it's thought that the pictographs that I was looking at earlier came from those people. Then came the Fremont people, who were cliff dwellers, and they were contemporaries of the ancestral Puebloans who built the Chacoan culture. After that, in this area, came the Utes, who still live in the area but have lost most of their land here. The Mormon settlers who arrived around 1840, 1850, something like that. And then the Swazeys, of course, who were raising cattle here in the 1920s and later. I didn't know it yet, but these thoughts were about to bring me face to face with a rather startling figure. Some anthropologists think that these are painted to represent shamanic visions, which the shamans had during dreams or trance states. In which case, these probably don't represent humans at all. They probably represent something that they saw in their visions, or and these anthropomorphic figures may be the holy people who were the spirits or gods that influenced their lives. If these do represent shamanic visions, then that means that the one who painted these was probably the shaman himself. We got some wildlife here. They look pretty wild. Uh-oh. It's about to charge. Or not. Kind of got to ask yourself, when you go down these hills, is there going to be any problem getting back up? I tried to back up there, and a little sketchy backing up, slipping and sliding. We're going through this underpass, and I found some more rock art. Pretty sure it's not Barrier Canyon. This is one of several sinkholes in the area. They're created when down below there's a layer of limestone, and the limestone is in the water table. The water is slightly acidic and dissolves out a cave, and then the cave roof falls in, and then above that falls in, and above that falls in, until you have one of these sinkholes. We've got a mega fire pit here. Should work pretty well. Fresh cooked buns, and then we're going to grill some bratwurst. Well, I checked, and they're definitely puffing up and cooking. I piled it on the top there, see if I can get it brown too. Here's a closer look at that mudstone. As you can see, it's very fine material. It's quite crumbly. Doesn't have to be, but you can tell it's mudstone by the extremely fine grained particles. There are no clasts, no rocks, larger rocks in here. Lots of snakes. Those are dark red and yellowish. I haven't seen yellow like that before. Man, there's a lot of them here. This is so cool. So an interesting question here. Those two figures sort of in the center are were originally painted in the red ochre, dark red. And then someone came back later and painted over them in this yellow hue in ancient times. So the question is, why? That's a famous one called the Rain Angel.